As mentioned before, dashboards are the welcome page, you could say, of your report. So always think about the dashboard as something you want to show to your boss, to your executive, so to anybody you report to give him a great first glance of the most important data. Because the dashboard is on top of your report, so to say, so the dashboard picks some of the visuals from the report. And if you want to dive deeper, then you can, of course, also dive into the report to understand all the details. But the dashboard is just the core summary in the end. And if you again look into the left bar right here, you see we have a dashboard now for our Power BI Pro project. This was just created automatically when we changed to edit mode. As you can see, this is our Power BI Pro starting file again, so the one we imported to Power BI Pro. This dashboard doesn't contain any data, and I would like to create a dashboard now for our first Power BI Pro report here. Therefore, let's again go to the edit menu. So you saw the options to create the dashboard already, because I mentioned these pin options here. And there is a difference between pinning a single visual and pinning a page, as you can imagine. If I select the left visual, for example, and now select this pin visual option, then Power BI asks me where I want to pin this to, either to an existing dashboard or to a new dashboard. The new one would then have to be named by us. The existing dashboard is the one that was automatically created over here, and I don't want to pin it to this dashboard as it's not part of that initial report that we created. So I want to create a new dashboard here and call it First Pro Dashboard. Maybe, oops, like this. And if we now pin this, you see that we can also create a phone view for the dashboard, not important at the moment, so let's close this. And here in the dashboard option, we now can see our First Pro dashboard pinned, well, to this dashboard. If we go back to our First Pro report here, and again go to Edit, and now pin a live page, you see you pin the entire page in the end. And we can now pin this page to our existing dashboard, so let's do this by clicking Pin Live. Yes, we know it worked. Thanks a lot, that's great. So let's see. And here you see we now have that single visual on top. And if we scroll down a bit, we see the entire pinned page. This would be our dashboard now. Just to be clear about that, we could also go to our Power BI Pro report here and now maybe switch to a different report page. Maybe this one, and also now pin this page. Or maybe not this one. Let's go to the overview and let's say we want to pin this page here in the edit menu to our not First Pro dashboard, but to the Power BI Pro Start dashboard. So let's pin this too. Close this menu. And now you see we have our first Power BI Pro dashboard appear. We have this placeholder, which we can easily delete by clicking onto more options and now pressing delete here. And we can now move this up a bit and, well, change the format of this dashboard. With that, we have seen the data set, we have seen the reports, and we created dashboards already. This means we are almost done with the core features of Power BI Pro, but we have to see what we can do in this dashboards menu now. For this, I'll again show you some of the options. The export option here is a bit different than we saw it in the report. Here you can only print this page. The PowerPoint or the PDF option is not available. Sharing, as said, will be covered later. Subscribe, we had it. You can add comments here and you can mark this dashboard as a favorite. We know these things. Here you again have different options in your dashboard. Some interesting options here would be to add a new tile. You could, for example, say that you want to add a text box and you now press next. And now you give this text box a name, maybe just test and test down here. And let's now apply this. And we again close the phone view, we'll cover that later. And if you now scroll down, you see you created such a tile. So a tile is always this white empty space in here. And this tile now contains text only. We don't need it. I just wanted to show it to you here. So let's delete that tile. With that, we're back in the dashboard. Other interesting options here are, for example, set as featured. This would set this dashboard as the default dashboard that would be displayed if you open Power BI Pro. So we can do this with this dashboard here. And yes, I want to do this. So this is now our featured dashboard. So if you open Power BI Pro, then this dashboard will be displayed. We can also change between different dashboard themes here. So let's open this menu. The default one is light. Let's see what dark looks like. Yeah, I think this better fits our approach here. So let's save this. Now we have this darker background for the dashboard. We have the background, the tile, and then the actual dashboard content. And I don't want to explore all options. I just want to give you a good understanding of what you can do in here. So we had a look at the tiles. We saw the featured one here related. If you click onto that, simply allows you to see what this dashboard is based on. So it's based on the Power BI Pro Start report and the Power BI Pro Start dataset. You can, of course, also interact with the data in dashboard. As you can see right here, I can choose different years. Well, I can play around, so it's fully interactive. So this is working. So this is basically the core summary of these features here. There is one important thing maybe to note. You cannot change the visuals here in the dashboard. As you can see, if I click right here, these are interactive, but I cannot change the size or anything like that. So the dashboards are simply a selection of the visuals you created in your report. And with that, we saw the general flow of such a Power BI Pro project in my workspace. That's important. We are always in this workspace in here. So we published a project from Power BI Desktop to Power BI Pro. We have our dataset and the corresponding report. Then we use this dataset to create a new report. And based on the report, we created this dashboard here. And based on our actual report, we created another dashboard, always by using this pin feature. So you saw the core features now of Power BI Pro, but we have to explore this My Workspace here in a bit more detail. Because here you can see all the data you have in your workspace here. And if you hover over these, you see some interesting options. Also, if you click right here. So let's now explore My Workspace in a bit more detail.